Welcome to AP Physics C. I'm Mr. D. My name is D'Antuano, but most people call me Mr. D, and that works just fine. This video is an introduction to the course and what you need to know about the summer assignment and about the course, just some basics. Some basic information about me if you want to know. I have a bachelor's degree in physics from James Madison University. I also have a bachelor's degree in philosophy from William Patterson. I run the philosophy club. You should come to that. It's awesome. Fridays at lunch, most days. And I have a Master of Arts in teaching, specifically special education. And I've taught math. I taught math for 3 years, including calculus at a private school, and I've been teaching physics in the public school since then, and multiple years now of teaching AP Physics C. The course content, it's mechanics, pretty much everything you learned last year in AP1, except now we're adding calculus. That'll be kind of the new thing. And then we'll also do E&M. E&M is basically from January to April, and then there are 2 tests that you can take, the AP Physics Mechanics test and the AP-C E&M test, 2 separate tests. And, so then April until May, we review for the tests, and hopefully you do a good job. And historically, people typically have done well on the tests. What you'll learn to do in the course is pretty much solve physics problems, using all the math you've ever learned, pretty much all the math, including some new math. Oftentimes I'm going to teach you a calculus concept before you learn it in calculus class. And so it's not easy, and we will work through about a chapter a week. So it's a very fast-paced course. What I'm doing recently is I'm putting videos online, so you take notes on the videos, and then you come into class and we work problem sets together. And that seems to be working out really well. But it's a rigorous course. Summer assignment. Okay, take a close look at the due date. It is due on that day at noon. In other words, it needs to be in the box in the guidance office by that time on that day, by noon on that day. If it comes in after that, in the next few days, you can see there's another due date. If it comes between those times, then you get 20% off. If it comes in after that second due date, then you just get a 0 on it. And this counts as your first test. So make sure you get it in and make sure you do a good job on it. There's also a cutoff date for emailing me questions. So take a close look to see what that cutoff date is, because I don't want people emailing me a day or two, or the night before it's due, and then I don't get back to them and you blame it on me. Okay, so make sure you're working hard on it throughout the summer. You got plenty of time. As a result, saying things like, "Oh, I had camp, I had other things to do during the summer," is not an excuse, because you've got so much time between now and then to get it done. When you turn it in, kind of put it in some binder or something, put it together so I don't just have loose papers all over the place. And when you turn it in, you turn it in at the guidance office and make sure you sign it. There'll be like a sign-in sheet to make sure you do that. Most of the questions are worth 4 points. Some of them say that they're worth more, and they are. But in general, they're worth 4 points unless otherwise stated. No attempt earns no points. But there is abundant partial credit for good work done. So if you think it, write it. Make sure you write it down. Just leaving it blank is the worst thing that you can do. In general, people who haven't done a good job on the summer assignment don't do well in the class. So hopefully you do a good job. You'll notice that with the summer assignment, there's a journal. In the journal, I want you to keep track of when you work on the assignment and how many hours you work on it. I want to see generally how much time people are spending on this. And I want to see if you're working together. That's a good thing. I want you to work together. Don't copy, but you can work together. It's good to bounce ideas off of other people, check your work, check your thinking. But I want to see, who's working together, so I can get a feel for, how much work is the summer assignment taking. Again, you can find my email or this email where I sent the stuff to you, and you can email me questions. There is a cutoff date, so don't email me questions after that. And I want you to be as specific as you can with your questions. Don't just say, "I have a question about number 5, how do you do it?" Tell me, number 5, I tried this, 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 and this, and I have a question because when I got to this point, it was this other thing, right? Be specific with your questions. There will be a summer assignment test. On the second or third day of school, I'll let you know for sure which, there will be a test on the summer assignment. The summer assignment covers pretty much all of mechanics, kinematics, dynamics, energy, momentum. There's a little bit of the torque stuff in there, not a lot of all of like the rotational kinetic energy and the rotational motion, not so much of that. A little bit of centripetal force as well. But you need to know all of that stuff cold, because on the test there are no calculators and no equation sheets, no equations. It'll have easy or no numbers, so don't worry about the calculations, but you need to know the physics concepts really well. Summer assignment part 2. Once you've turned in the summer assignment packet, there's another notes packet on center of mass. We'll come back to center of mass again later in the year when we have the calculus under our belts, but the first lesson is just center of mass, and you have the notes packet. It's guided notes for a lecture. Okay, watch the lecture, take notes, so that when we come in day 1, we're going to start right away with a problem set, kind of like a little assignment on that material. Okay, let's see. Recommendations. Here's what I would recommend as you're preparing for this course and working on the summer assignment. Read what former students have said. At the end of the year, we give this questionnaire to students and say, if you could give advice to next year's students, what would you say? And they write down. I just copied down what they've said. So heed their advice. Use study groups wisely. Get together with your friends. Use them well, and get together with different groups of people who maybe you don't normally get together with. Check your email account, because I might email you something or you might get an email from somebody else. So stay close to your account. Check it at least every few days. There are a lot of good physics prep things out there, but it's not easy to find what's good and what's not good. So you can use some things, but just be cautious. And then there's a summary of how to solve it by G. Polya. If you know, any math professor, any physics professor knows this book, I guarantee it, because it's the classic book on problem solving. So it's really valuable for you, first of all, just being in this class, being in calculus as well, and then if you go into any type of engineering or science or math field, learning how to problem solve in this way is going to be really helpful. Your grade in this class is 70% tests, 20% homework or quizzes and labs and that sort of thing, and then 10% of homework. Not all the homework's going to be collected, or classwork, whatever it might be, but I'll let you know from time to time. There'll be one that I collect just so we can fill in that grade. And I'm constantly kind of assessing you along the way. One, you're watching this video. Good job. You see me to get the summer assignment packet. That's assessment number 2. So keep up the good work. And if you have any questions, come by room B205 or email me. I'd be happy to talk to you, even if you want to start on the summer assignment, which sounds crazy, but hey, why not get started on it now? And I look forward to a great year together.